So it can certainly feel like there's something deeper and darker at play when such an obvious biological fact that life begins at conception is denied by so many. The sheer scale of deception, willful ignorance, and moral blindness seems almost unnatural. You talk to these people and you explain, these birth control pills do not actually prevent it does not suppress the ovulation, it does not prevent this conception, and the baby will survive. The baby boy or the baby girl will survive for 6 to 7 to 8 or 9 days, and then the baby boy will die or the baby girl will die at the very natural and healthy stage of implantation. But they cannot accept that. They just cannot accept that. That is a fact. I mean, nobody will. Nobody that knows, embryology, that understands basic life, basic science, the science of life, which is, embryology. How does the baby boy become, a baby, and how does the baby girl at conception turn, into a fully a healthy baby that can survive outside of the womb of the mother, right? That's embryology, right? So that this is somebody that understands that will certainly understand the fact that these birth control pills will not prevent the conception there. It will just kill the baby in the womb. Historically, civilizations have often been manipulated through deception, and some would argue that this is not just a matter of propaganda or psychological conditioning, but spiritual warfare. The idea that occult forces are at play is not new. Many belief systems describe mass deception as something orchestrated by unseen influences, whether through manipulation, demonic influence, or ideological subversion. Could occult influence be involved? Widespread denial of basic truth. Throughout history, powerful lies have been used to control populations. The fact that so many refuse to acknowledge the humanity of the unborn could suggest something deeper than simple misinformation. Right? So there's a certain humanity that is being disregarded here, and the death is just not being acknowledged by so many. It's almost greater than propaganda. It's almost greater than a type of just the TV lying to them over and over again. It seems like it's something else. Right? I mean, it could be pharmakia and deception. The Greek word pharmakia, from which pharmacy derives, was used in the Bible to mean sorcery, enchantment, poison making. Some believe the modern pharmaceutical industry, particularly in birth control and abortifacients, plays into this ancient deception. Moving goalposts and redefining reality, the shift in defining conception from fertilization to implantation is an example of reality being redefined to serve an agenda, a tactic seen in mass manipulation. So, we know that, and basic embryology will tell us that fertilization, when the egg meets the sperm, and then the baby is a fully viable. There's a fully viable embryo, a very healthy baby boy or baby girl, and later killed at the stage of implantation, right? But then there was no, the implantation is the starting of pregnancy. It's just a blastocyst that failed to implant. It certainly is not, right? They're moving the goalpost and redefining reality to serve the interests of the industry. That's all it is. Um, Moral confusion and blindness. Many who support abortion refuse to look at scientific evidence. Even when confronted with facts, they still deny reality. Could this be a form of spiritual blindness? Sacrifices in ancient parallels. Throughout history, child sacrifice was often part of occult rituals. Seen in cultures like the Canaanites, the Aztecs, and the Carthaginians. Some argue that modern abortion mirrors these rituals disguised under the banner of choice and healthcare and women's rights and the advancement of women's rights. Right? This is new and all this stuff. It certainly is not. There's ancient texts describing these angels coming down. It's certainly not. This is an extra biblical text. There's no sense in getting into it, very much, but it does give us an idea that these ancient fallen angels will come to humanity and slash the embryo in the womb and cause the child to die inside of the womb of the mother. There's these fallen angels coming down and teaching these dark arts to people. I mean, and again, that's not in the Bible. It's not very important, extra biblical. But I mean, if you've read these types of old texts, you will see that what I'm saying is true. Um, so why can't people see the truth? So cognitive dissonance, right? Accepting the truth that abortion would mean admitting killing millions of children have been unjustly killed. That's a painful reality. So people rationalize their actions instead of facing guilt. And again, I mean, we're not just talking about abortions like surgical abortion where you can see the baby's face. It's not that. We are talking about the pill that will allow the ovulation to be carried out naturally and the baby to be conceived when the sperm does actually meet the egg there, and the baby will survive for a number of days, 6, 7, 8, 9 days, and then fail to implant and die. Right, because I mean the implantation stage is just—it's not the starting of pregnancy. It's just a very natural stage of development where the baby is conceived. That is the starting of a pregnancy, and embryology will and basic understanding of life itself will certainly dictate so. So cultural indoctrination, generations have been conditioned to see abortions as normal, and it's a right. If a lie is told often enough and loudly enough, very very loud, it's a loud mouths. Feminists and even just non-feminists, just even men, will say this. It becomes accepted as their truth, right? But there is an absolute truth, and it certainly does not, align with this type of, there's absolute truth and relative truth, and lots more about that. But absolute truth. If you do not accept the idea that relative truth and absolute truth, if you haven't figured that out by now, then nothing can help you. I mean, the truth is absolute, no matter, and it's certainly disconnected from the human mind that perceives anything, right? The truth is the truth. And the truth, of course, here in this issue here is that the babies are conceived and unjustly killed. Yeah. So the fear of social rejection. Many people might deep down know abortion is wrong, but are afraid to speak out because of societal backlash. Moral relativism, a culture that denies objective morality, will justify anything, even the destruction of innocent life. Demonic deception. Yeah. Some believe that spiritual entities influence society, pushing people to embrace death over life, deception over truth. Are spells being cast? If we look at history and biblical warnings, some would say yes. Right? There is a spiritual force behind this mass deception. And many ancient societies believed words, symbols, and rituals could shape human consciousness. The way abortion is promoted with euphemisms, rituals like shouting your abortion, and denial of obvious truth mirrors how a deception works in occult practices. The abortion industry itself profits from death, which some would argue is the ultimate inversion of moral law. How to break the deception. So expose the truth relentlessly. Keep showing the science, the humanity of the unborn, and the reality of abortion. Pray for clarity and strength. Many people have had their minds clouded, whether by fear, social conditioning, and spiritual deception. Refuse to use their language. Words like pregnancy, tissue, and products of conception are designed to obscure reality. Say it plainly, right? This is a human being. This is a small boy. This is a small girl. And then this is a life. Yeah. Create new institution. If the current medical, legal, and political systems refuse to uphold truth, build alternatives that do not bow down to deception. And for example, the politicians are being bribed to let big pharma into the door with their birth control that literally wipe out the next generation. So the fact that so many people cannot grasp such an obvious biological truth suggests that this is not merely a political or medical issue, it's a deeper spiritual battle. And this video is made out of necessity but a lot of people would just, especially these doctors here, they are devout atheists. They are a member of the atheist cult, and it's certainly a religion. I mean, atheism is certainly a religion. You have to you really believe into this atheism cult to believe that, and Charles Darwin's theory and all this stuff, and Georges Lemaitre, he gave us the which was a Catholic priest, by the way. He gave us the Big Bang Theory and all that stuff, which is basically what's going on here. This is why they can be, they don't have any kind of guilt, they don't have any kind of, morality or anything, and they can break their oaths and kill babies, right? That's what's going on here. So, but is there a type of, occult ritual that will be used to deceive the masses like this? So, and the reason that I say this is why do so many of these reasonable people just absolutely cannot accept? See, for example, I'm gonna. There's this very nice gentleman that I was talking to this, and he said, "Oh yeah, well, I'll do my research about that," and then after that, he's just completely disregards it, and he just doesn't talk to me about it anymore. And it's not just him. I mean, these are basically everybody that I talk to. They just cannot just get on board with this. But it is certainly true. I mean, there's nobody that it's a is it a type of you know is it a type of occult ritual that's being cast upon the people that to make them accept, or because I mean, if you don't speak out against it, you will accept it. That's the thing. If you do not speak out against this, you're accepting it and promoting it by your silence. Your silence, especially when with a very real consequence that babies are being killed. It's just basically if you don't speak out against it, you are accepting it, and you think it's cool. You think it's cool to kill babies. I mean, we shouldn't be doing that. Babies are very important, and that's the thing. They are the most valuable asset that the earth has ever known, right? So, I don't really like to get into the spiritual aspect of anything because I mean this is not really the point of it. But this video is necessary for some people to be able to grasp this issue, right? How can this even be possible if there isn't some sort of demonic influence here? I mean, it doesn't seem like people can be this morally corrupted. I do not believe this is even possible without some sort of occult influence here. But I mean, maybe. I mean, maybe they just love money that much that they love to kill babies, that they don't mind killing babies, that they love money that much. But that is certainly is starting to play on the just the absolute disbelief. I don't believe for 1 minute that somebody could even kill a baby and take money from it, their whole career without any type of demonic or occult influence here. And if you didn't, I study very much about the occult and all this stuff, and I certainly recommend that you just stay away from it. There's nothing good that will come out of it. Yeah, the occult is certainly, if you don't know what I mean, just basic witchcraft. That's all I really mean. But don't get involved with this stuff. We see the things that are happening here. You got people killing babies and all this stuff, and people denying the reality of life, and it gets a little bit nutty, sure. So I'll see you next video, and I hope to have some good news for you by that time, like we so desperately need.